Anthony Fauci's done such a fantastic job at his current post that he got a raise. And then Forbes magazine did a FOIA request on him
to see if he filled out his conflict of interest form.
I wonder if St. Anthony will get back with him on that.
People ask me all the time,
Hey Brian, do you really use that keto elevate stuff, and does it really work?
the answer is yes and yes. Never in my entire life have I lost body fat so quickly. Not even in my prime at 25, which is over 25 years ago. I'm approaching 54 this year. If you want to support the channel and do your health a favor, grab some with my link in the description.
The reason I have this picture up right here is because I made a comment to Trish that I'd trust a scorpion in my shorts before I trusted a politician to tell the truth. And she came back like that and said, I'd rather get bit once by a scorpion in the twat than get screwed every day by the government. And I had to post that thing on Twitter, man. You know, it's the classic things that you want to remember. This world is hilarious and scary all at the same time. According to Forbes, this is from Forbes magazine. You can see it right up there. St. Anthony Fraudstey got a raise. Big pay increase to prevent, according to James Bullard, planned organized partial shutdown of the U.S. economy and the world economy, not just in the second quarter, but for all time. In a January article entitled, Published at Forbes, our auditors at openthebooks.com found that Dr. Anthony Fauci was the highest paid federal employee, even over the President of the United States at $417,608. Dr. Fauci is still the top paid federal employee, earning $434,312. Because he did such a fantastic job, we got to give him a raise. Fauci out-earned the U.S. president $400,000, four-star generals in the military $282,000. That's crazy that they're getting paid that much money to economically terrorize us. And roughly 4.3 million other federal employees. He's at the top of the heap as far as being paid the most. Check this out. This is Forbes, guys. This is considered a top-shelf authoritative source. Now, new documents released via our Freedom of Information Act request. Forbes actually put in a Freedom of Information Act request. From the which is strange. It's kind of a strange psychological operation because Forbes is not on your side. These billionaires at Forbes, they're not on your side. But they're outing Anthony Fauci, and they were digging for more information like, okay, are there conflicts of interest in regard to Anthony Fraudstey and the things that he's involved in? You'll see that in the last paragraph here, the last two paragraphs. It says our new release from our Freedom of Information Act request from the NIH tells us a lot more. Dr. Fauci received a big pay hike for his biodefense research activity. In other words, Fauci was paid to prevent future pandemics. But then they question later on, it's like, is he preventing planned organized partial shutdowns that he's a part of facilitating? Question mark, says Forbes. The documents released to our nonprofit organization, openthebooks.com, reveal that Dr. Fauci was approved for a permanent pay adjustment in excess of his regular salary in December 2004 during the George W. Bush administration. Thanks, Republicans. Thanks, Democrats. From 2004 through 2007, Fauci received a 68% pay increase. When was the last time you factory workers, you cashiers, you people, you lawn care experts, all you people out there who are really working for a living, when was the last time you got a 6.8% increase, let alone a 68% increase? From $200,000 to $335,000 a year. This award was permanent and carried forward through 2020. Fauci's permanent pay raise was to, quote, appropriately compensate him for the level of responsibility, especially as it relates to his work on biodefense research activities. So you know what they really did? They fleeced the American tax cattle even more so that they could put more money into the pockets of St. Anthony Fauci, God bless his soul, genuflect, holy water, rah, 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 zis, boom, bah. However, critics say that Fauci was funding research that was actually, quote, creating pandemic pathogens in labs that, if leaked or if fell into the wrong hands, might create the very human pandemic they were trying to prevent. That sounds like the Hegelian dialectic to me. Problem, reaction, solution. Look for a problem, create a problem, or co-opt an existing problem, wait for the fear-based reaction, and then set in place the pre-planned solution that benefits who? Not the many at the bottom, but the few at the top. And who's one of the people at the top? At the very top of the federal heap, according to Forbes, St. Anthony Fauci, genuflect, holy water, God bless his soul. Released here for the first time is a portion of NIH's response to our Open the Books FOIA request. These documents highlight Fauci's central role in planned organized partial shutdown preparedness, funding, and biodefense strategies in the years leading up to the, planned organized partial shutdown of the U.S. economy in the second quarter, according to James Bullard from the St. Louis Federal Reserve. All you got to do is put that into a Google search, and you'll find the Market Watch article that came from. Included in the NIH production is a letter dated, stamped December 15th, 2004, from this guy right here. And the letter reads, and check this out, some of this stuff is redacted, and Forbes makes a big deal out of the redaction, and rightly so, because the thing that is redacted is 17-year-old information. Why are they redacting 17-year-old information about St. Anthony Fauci from what he was getting paid back then? Why haven't they released that? Why hasn't it been declassified? Redaction means it's classified. Not for your eyes, maybe for other eyes, but not for yours. Quote, this request that the current retention allowance for Dr. Anthony S. Fauci be converted to a permanent pay adjustment in the amount over his base pay in order to appropriately compensate him for the level of responsibility in his current position of director at this, the NIAID and the NIH, especially as it relates to his work on biodefense research activities. It says redactions, this is Forbes, redactions labeled under federal FOIA fall under a large range of categories protecting the employee's personal information. They're going to drill down here. I mean, I applaud them for doing this because this appears to be an attempt at real journalism. These redacted items are likely dollar figures, including his salary at the time, which apparently NIH still deems redaction worthy even 17 years after the fact. Check this out. I really appreciate this approach right here, or at least part of it. They don't go all the way, but it's good enough for right now. Baby steps. Not that I expect Forbes to come clean and come over to our side, but this definitely attempts to put at least part of the spotlight on Anthony Fauci and his activities behind the scene, behind the curtain. We have already posted his salary back in 2010, but our auditors at openthebooks.com discovered Fauci's salary records as far back as fiscal year 2004. It's settled transparency law that Fauci's compensation falls under the open records law. So why is NIH redacting financial information for 2004 that is 17 years old? Perhaps the answer is in the numbers. Look at this. Here's his salary increase right here. Ridiculous, off the charts increase. But I want to show you this here at the very end when they talk about redaction under DARPA. And listen to what they say. Few of these controversies made it into mainstream news cycles. I wonder why. Most likely never would have, except that in December 2019, the world learned of a novel respiratory you-know-what emerging from you-know-where. The very same city that the lab that did the pandemic bat VIR US research. Ironically, the Wuhan lab was funded with $600,000 in the NIAID subgrants from Fauci's agency's biodefense funds, as Rand Paul rightly pointed out, as the doctor himself admitted in Congress. He admitted some of it, but some of it he didn't. Check this out. The last 4 paragraphs are just spot on. On January 27th and May 17th, 2021, we asked NIH for Dr. Fauci's fiscal year 2020-2021 financial and conflict of interest disclosure forms. Is there a conflict of interest when we're talking about the character known as St. Anthony Fauci that we're all supposed to bow down to, who set all these governmental policies that the rest of us are supposed to follow? If we don't, we go out of business, we go broke, we're homeless, we can't feed our families. Job descriptions in all employment contracts, amendments, modifications, and addendums, respectively. Dr. Fauci is required by federal law to file these forms with his employer, the National Institutes of Health. It has been 9 months, and NIH has yet to produce most of the requested documents. Some of those documents deal with the conflict of interest disclosure. To say that the details of Dr. Fauci's employment are of public interest after almost 2 years of government decisions influenced by him is an understatement. I think that's well said. I think Forbes did a pretty good job on that article. So I wonder why NIH is hiding the forms that deal with the conflict of interest disclosures. What do you guys think about it? At this point, we can only speculate, I guess.
Hey guys, we know with the way things have been going, it can get really interesting really quick. So make sure you and your family have a long-term storable food supply. Support the channel and get $50 off with my link in the description while you still can.